the stadium erupts in red, white and blue. You've never seen anything like it.
Let's go.
Manchester, brace yourself. Rangers are coming!
Hi everyone and welcome to the next episode of the Are You Ready podcast. As ever, I'm your host Derek and with me is my co-host Dave. How are you doing, Dave?
Oh, Derek, I'm just glad it's my weekend off so I can chill out for the rest of the weekend. Got the game to look forward to on Sunday, and then, not that I'll interest you, but it's the big night in the NFL calendar on Sunday night, the Super Bowl, so I'll be one of these nutters that will be staying up to about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning to watch that, but I'm looking forward to it.
You're just one to perv and Taylor Swift, that's all it is.
Oh my God, Danny. There'll be more cameras on Taylor Swift than there will the actual game, which is actually really quite sad. But it's, she gets more coverage on the NFL network than the vast majority of the players do. So that's just the world that we live in at the moment, unfortunately.
Yes, so just for that pure reason alone, I'm going for the Eagles, Dave.
All right, okay. It'll not stop them. They'll still show up every 2 minutes if they can. So there you go. No, it should be a really good game. I'm looking forward to it. So there you go.
So we're going into the real football now. That's what we're here to talk about, isn't it?
Exactly.
So,
yep.
Two good games to cover. One a routine win in the Premiership, but the first game we've got to cover, obviously we'll get into, and that's a great European win. So without further ado, we'll go down the tunnel and onto the pitch. So before we do that, the transfer window firmly slammed shut, didn't it, Dave?
It did, and it was a bit of a damp squib, wasn't it? I think we were kind of half expecting that there wasn't going to be much there, but all hoping that there would maybe be something pulled out the bag. But as you're about to get into it, didn't really work out like that, did it?
No. So obviously in the last podcast we had confirmed that Fernandes had signed on a years-long loan with a view to sign him permanently if it works out. We had no other incomings coming in this window apart from Lyle Cameron signing a pre-contract from Dundee, and he'll join us in the summer. 22-year-old midfielder, so he's coming with a good reputation. From all the reports I read, then it's a good prospect for the future.
Yep, I think he's a great player. I've seen any time I've watched Dundee play, Derek, he's been their standout player in midfield. He is only 22. I think it's an excellent addition to the team. So I'm looking forward to seeing him play for us next year, or next season, I should say.
There was a story apparently it broke today as well. We were in for a winger. I can't remember if it was from Man U or somebody like that, a youngster from Man U, but I think we wanted to loan, but they didn't want to do that kind of deal, so that fell through at the last minute. Outgoings, though, we had quite a few. Matondo eventually left, and the deal for going to Coventry fell through at the 11th hour, but he did actually sign on loan for Hanover until the end of the season with an option to buy. He did score a cracker in his debut as well, so that had the drums going. Well, is it us? What's this ridiculous? No, but no, that seems to happen quite a bit, and then they fall away. So we hope he does well and he gets his move permanently made, because then that takes a wage off our bill.
Yep.
Next player to go out was Zach Lovelace. He returned to Millwall on a permanent deal for an undisclosed fee. Now, I've spoken about him before. Disappointed because he came with a good reputation. He was good in the B team. I don't think he actually taken his chances when he was given his chances in the first team. However, that's heavily caveated with him having a stop-start time due to injuries. So I'm gutted it never worked out because of the reputation he came with, and he was apparently a really good player. There was other things. Apparently he was a bit homesick as well. So you've got to take that into account. Just disappointed it never worked out with us, but all the best to him.
Yep, we just have to hope it's a half-decent fee as well, Derek, because as you say, he was a player for the future and came with a big reputation. But, you know, certain things we can't control, and him being homesick's one of them. So, as you say, we just have to wish him all the best.
Yep. And the last one I've got here is 21-year-old Connor Allen signed for Falkirk on a permanent deal. Don't know much about him. Obviously came from the B team. Hopefully we got a decent fee for him, but we wish him well as well.
Yes.
Just a slight Rangers related one though is Scott Arfield also signed back with Falkirk to go back to his old club to finish his career basically. So I hope it works out for him there. Great player.
A great move for Falkirk, because you know I stay in the town. Derek, they're not my team by any means, but I know a lot of Falkirk fans, and they are all absolutely delighted he's there. So because it's him, we wish him all the best and hope it works out for him as well.
Yes. Now, our transfer dealings overall, people were really disappointed. Some were raging. Some, like me, were fairly relaxed about it because the CEO did say at the end of the day, it's going to be one, maybe two signings. We signed one. We got a pre-contract and another good player. We got rid of a lot of deadwood, and that was the good thing about it. I think people's expectations were still unhappy about it for the fact that, we never signed this £10 million player. Look at what Celtic are doing. We've not done much. We've only signed one player. We needed another centre-back. We needed a winger. Yeah, but I think there needs to be a bit of a realism about it as well. Before we're able to bring these players in, we've got to get rid of the players that were deadwood, effectively, that were causing a backlog of wages. So we're starting to do that. We'll see what happens in the summer window. That's the one that we've got to look at, and we can no longer do what Gerrard done and have two great players for every position. It's just not going to work like that. We're losing too much money that way. We're going to have a core of maybe 15 good players, really good players, sprinkle that with a couple of other good signings, and then use the B team. That's what it's there for. So I think now that we're starting to get on an even keel, I would like to think with that, there seems to be a plan formulating. The directors and the CEO and the chairman are aware that we need to cut our cloth accordingly. There needs to be a realisation when we're not getting Champions League money, we can't afford to spend like that. And when we've not got the player trading model up and running, that mythical thing, we can't go spending willy-nilly like that, can we?
No, we can't. I was a wee bit disappointed that we couldn't even bring in, because I do think that we're really short in the left wing. I do think that's an area that we really need. The league's gone or almost gone. I think we all know that, but we're still fighting on all fronts, especially in Europe, and I think that's a position that we're lacking. But obviously they couldn't get anything done to bring a player in for that position, so that's the one that I'm a bit disappointed in. We were looking very light in defence as well, but the emergence of Nsiala, who's been excellent for us, and also Fernandes, we're getting players back like John Souttar, so we're starting to look a lot more strong in that position. But that was just the one that I would have personally liked to see us strengthen. Just even a wee loan would have done.
I think that's the realisation people have got to understand as well, is that yes, we've got a lot of injuries, we are light in certain positions, but when these players come back from injury, hopefully stay fit, they would then have a glut of players all looking for the same position, so we can't go too overboard like that. But we'll see how it works out anyway. Yeah. But into the game, the first game we've got to cover, Thursday the 30th of January. It was a 2-1 win at home against USG in the Europa League Game 8. It meant us, Dave, we qualify automatically for the top 16 because we finished in 8th place. Dave, that was beyond anything we could have ever imagined.
We spoke about it in the last pod, and I think you said there had to be at least 5, maybe 6 games that would go our way, and I think we maybe gave ourselves about a 5% chance of that happening. And for everything to fall in place like that, Derek, is just unbelievable. The victory as well, considering the team and the defence that we put out was great. That was fantastic. But for everything else to fall into place was fantastic. I'll let you get into the game, Derek, but another fantastic European night at Ibrox.
The team that we lined up with was Butland, King, Tavernier Proper, Jeffrey, Raskin, Diamande, Barami, Cherney, Igman and Dessers. On the subs bench we had Kelly, Munn, Souttar, Lawrence, McCausland, Rice, Lovelace, Curtis, Nco and Hutton. So it's about as best the team we could have put out, isn't it?
It is, and we were wondering with Leon King in the team, James Tavernier, we weren't sure if King was going to play his natural position at centre-half. As it turned out, he wasn't. He was getting played at right back, and it was James Tavernier in at centre-half, which was quite strange. But apart from that, as you say, it's probably the strongest team that we had available.
Yeah, and the fact that King was coming in as well just shows you he's been frozen out the squad. He's been on the bench a few times. He was never going to get a game, and that's how threadbare we are. He's coming straight in. However, it only taken less than a minute for him to get injured, because about 30 seconds in, he had a head knock with one of the USG players after both of them going for the ball. Clash of heads. There was a bit of an innocuous challenge. Nobody to blame about it. It's just one of these things. Game was stopped. Both of them managed to play on. However, on the 12th minute, King makes a really good tackle to block the cross coming in. He actually puts it out for a goal kick as well. Then he goes down signalling that he was having vision problems due to the head knock. And 2 minutes later, he had to go off injured on the 14th minute with McCausland coming on for him. Dave, we can't buy luck just now, can we?
No, definitely can't. At the same time, they couldn't take any chances with that whatsoever. You saw him indicating that he couldn't see properly. So the correct decision, and it was more of who was he going to bring on in his place, because I don't think we had any other defensive players that could play in that position. So, as you say, McCausland coming on to play that sort of right wing back position, which was, to me, felt a bit ropey, but we just had to go on with it.
On the 16th minute, there was a corner from the right from USG. They got a shot off, but it was an easy take for Butland. He was allowed the space, though. On the 17th minute, we cleared the ball, lose the ball in midfield. A quick break by USG. They get the ball to the edge of the box and they shoot. It was blocked by their own player. It falls to us. Then we give the ball back to them in our own box and eventually manage to get it cleared. Just really poor defending, that one there. 19th minute was a free kick floated in from the right by Tavernier to the middle. Dessers gets a good head to it, but he puts it wide. It should have been on target. However, on the 20th minute, Raskin made it 1-0. It was a short corner by Tavernier to Czerny, a heavy ball back to Tavernier, who plays an absolutely stunning ball to the back post, which Raskin tracks all the way, and an equally stunning header into the left side of the goal. Outstanding goal.
Yeah, and it's something that we don't see a lot of from Raskin. He's one of the smallest guys on the park, but that was more about the quality of the ball and him finding the space at the back post, managed to keep the header down in an excellent time for us to score, because, as you say, USG had a couple of half chances and that was just the perfect time for us. Go 1-0 up, settle the nerves slightly, fantastic goal.
Yes. 29th minute, USG had the ball in the back of the net, but it was ruled out for offside. It was a long free kick from the far corner on the edge of the box, a header to the centre by the USG player. The other USG player was falling down, hits off him, falls to their other attacker, who shoots it in from 6 yards through the legs of Butland. The player who actually scored was just offside as the ball hit off his teammate, so really kind of fortunate, that one there. Butland has to be doing a lot better. He shouldn't be getting beat close range through his legs. But just a wee bit of fortune the way the ball fell as well. And I don't think the player hit off when he effectively made the pass, knew anything about it. It just kind of hit off him, a lucky break of the ball. So living dangerously there, and it could have been one each.
Yeah, definitely. Jack Butland, very, very fortunate to get away with that one, because it was a howler, in my opinion, Derek, as you say, for a guy his size, for that to go through. He basically sort of jumped up and done like a star jump, and it was easy for the guy just to stick his leg out and poke it in. So, yeah, thankfully that one didn't stand.
Nothing much happened for the next wee while. It was more of a midfield battle. 41st minute, USG break on the left side. They get into the box and shoot wide. It was offside in any case. 43rd minute, Dessers holds up the ball well on the left side of the box. Lovely skill to beat a couple of players and has a shot, and it was deflected wide. Really unlucky that there. It kind of deserved a goal. Dessers, a minute later though, did have the ball in the back of the net, but it was flagged for offside. It was a corner played in, knocked away by the head, floated back into the back post, and a lovely volley into the back of the net. It went to VAR and the decision stands. Must have been really, really tight, but we've seen a still image of it later on in the second half, and it was offside by quite a bit of distance. So just shows you the trick of the eye, that one there. To round out the half, on the 48th minute, USG down the left, a cross into the box at the near post. Their player puts it wide from close range. Butland may have put him off as well, so that was decent enough there. So half time, 1-0. We're doing our job. Fairly content with the way we're playing. I think we needed to shore up a wee bit at the back. We need to be a bit more clinical up front, because we did have a few chances there. But it was one of these situations. I was saying to my dad, we're doing our job, but all the other results aren't going our way. Because as you said, I think there was about 4 or 5 had to go our way, and it wasn't going our way at that point. Into the second half, 47th minute, USG with a cross from the right, across the goal. Player in the middle sticks out his leg and puts it over after some pressure from Tavernier. So well done from Tav that. 49th minute, a glorious chance for USG after a long ball played through the middle. Butland had made his way to the edge of the box for some reason, made a half-hearted attempt to get the ball. The attacker rounded him, hits a shot, and somehow Tav managed to clear it off the line. It comes back to USG, who tried to take it on again. Butland at this point had managed to scramble back, and the attacker tried to chip him from close range, but he puts it over the bar. Butland, a complete liability there. What is he even doing? I mean, he's making, and I said this in the post-match, he's now making a mistake every single game, and we got away with that one there, Dave.
Yeah, we did, but you're saying a mistake at every game. There's a few of the games he's making quite a few mistakes, and he's just looking a complete shadow of the goalkeeper that we had last year. So I don't know what's going on, but no confidence at all at the back, and that really needs to change quick, smart.
52nd minute, Desser's given a yellow card for having his shirt pulled, then using his strength to push the guy off the ball. He signalled for the ref to book the USG player as well, and I think that's what he got his yellow card for, because I think UEFA were cracking down on it this year. However, on the 55th minute, Černý makes it 2-0. A nice pass to Dessers on the left wing, just past the halfway line. A charging run to the left side of the box. He cuts inside. He takes on the player, gets to the touchline. A lovely cut back to Černý on the far side, who shoots it into the back of net. Dave, what a great finish, but the work from Dessers, my God, he's turning it on again.
It's doing what we've been desperate for him to do, Derek, leading the line like that. I thought he was excellent all night. I'm sick and tired of giving this guy praise now, Derek, after nearly the whole of the season we slating him, but that's what we're looking for. And he even looked really fast when he was running at them. They couldn't actually keep up with him, but the awareness to know where Černý was as well, that was a great run as he ghosted in. Brilliant play by Dessers, perfect cutback, and as I say, Černý, fantastic finish to make it 2-0, and we were all in dreamland at that stage. Brilliant goal.
Yeah, so now really attention turned on to the other games, because we were doing our job. We were fairly comfortable at this point. We still had to be quite tight, but we were comfortable in doing that. I thought there was only about 2 games that we had to kind of look out for, but no, it turned out there was about 4 or 5. I put favourite on live score and everyone, so I got the updates there. And then the Man United started to win. I think 20 was drawn. There was other games. I can't remember. There was that many ongoing though. 58th minute, Raskin had a chance, very close to how he scored his goal, but he managed to keep it in play instead of scoring it. 59th minute, Černý with a thunder bastard, and it hits off the post. Really unlucky, that one there. Černý came off in the 62nd minute. Suter came on from there. 65th minute, a nice ball from Raskin to Igman on the left, cuts inside and has a shot just by the post. 80th minute, Igman and Barami off, Lovelace and Sio on. And on the 83rd minute, USG pull a goal back. It was a free kick from the right, floated into the middle. The attacker gets in front of the defender, and a great diving header that loops over Butland. Shambolic marking, but even worse keeping. He should never have been getting beat like that. There was a long VAR check to see if there was offside, but the goals did stand. Shambles again.
Again, yep, saying it again, his positional sense and everything is just gone, Derek. It really has, as you say. For a guy his experience, his size, he was completely stuck in no man's land. He doesn't seem to anticipate balls into the box, and maybe it's because he's got a different centre half pairing in front of him, and Suter had just came on. It was poor all round and shocking goalkeeping again. And like I say, he's unrecognisable to the goalkeeper that we had last year at this stage.
Yeah. And at this stage, Dave, USG pull a goal back, and every other game is going for us. And at this point, USG were just piling on the pressure to us. We were sitting back. We let USG come at us, and every game's going our way. And it just looked as if we were going to throw it away, Dave, didn't it?
It did. I think the big change, I realised why he brought Suter on, taking off Černý, who I thought was a threat all night, kind of took that attacking impetus away from us, and it gave them the opportunity to get on the ball more, so it led to a really, really nervous end of the game for us.
Yes. Fortunately, they never done much with it, though. On the 90th minute, they had a free kick from the left. It was headed towards the middle, falls to their player, who puts it over the bar. 93rd minute, lots of pressure from USG, lining up to hit a shot. They eventually got a shot from distance on the left side, but it was high and wide. In the 94th minute, to round out the game, Dessers through on goal, gets a shot off, but the keeper saves. And at that point, absolutely unbelievable. All the results were coming in at this point. I think 3 of them had finished. We had finished. We had done our job. We were just waiting on one result. I don't think the players knew what was happening as well. I think Taverniers admitted that. Full-time whistles all round. Everything went for us. We finished top 8 into the last 16 straight away without having to do playoffs. Unbelievable, Dave.
It really is. The scenario is, the more you think about it, Derek, the more incredible it is. These things don't happen. They really don't. And, you know, for everything just to fall in line for us there, I'm saying to myself, that's it. That's a sign. We're going to go on and win this year. That's it. That's it done. But it's just wishful thinking, I think, Derek. But just fantastic. And even going just by the fact that we don't have to play that playoff game, that's an extra game that we don't have. We're automatically through. And touch wood, going by the potential teams that we can play, there's nothing in there that I think should be causing us major issues. And it's all teams that we reckon that on their day we can beat. So, as I say, I don't want to jinx it, but everything is looking good in that front for us at the moment.
The stat that came out afterwards, in the top 8, excluding us obviously, so the 7 other teams, we played 4 of them.
And even out of those 4 teams, the likes of Manchester United, we were a ball hair away for getting a draw at Old Trafford. Tottenham Hotspur, we were by far the better team. A lot of people were saying that it was close, but we had a great chance of winning that game as well. So the only team that's really came and completely outplayed us was when we played Lyon. And again, circumstances of that game, when it comes to injuries, when it comes to missed chances and the timings of the goals and stuff, fine margins. In the second half, they blew us away. But if certain things that had gone out our way, it could have been a lot closer. Apart from them, Derek, there's not been any other team that's given us that, a huge amount of problems and completely outplayed us. This competition for us, it never ceases to amaze me. For the money as well, I know it's not a patch in Champions League money, but still a huge amount of money to keep going through. We just have to take the next game, whoever we get, try and win that one, go to the next stage after that, and hopefully getting all these players back, it's going to stand us in good stead, to be able to do that.
Yeah, I mean, the other teams that finished in the top 8, you look at them, Lazio never played a team in the top 11. Atletico Bilbao never played a team in the top 14. Manchester United played 1 team in the top 8, that was us. Tottenham, the exact same, they only played us. Eintracht Frankfurt played 1 team in the top 8, which was Lyon. Olympic Lyon played 3 teams in the top 8, which was Olympiacos, Frankfurt and us. Olympiacos played 2 teams in the top 8, Lyon and Rangers. And obviously, as I said, Rangers played 4 teams in the top 8. That's nothing short of incredible. For the teams that we've come up against, for their finishing positions, for the teams that the actual squad that we've got just now, considering the Man U and the Tottenham game, we were threadbare, is just unbelievable. What an achievement. And yeah, delighted with that, Dave.
It is great. It's fantastic, Derek. And as I say, we keep outdoing ourselves every time, because there's a lot of the games that we've not been expecting anything at all, and we've managed to raise our game. And like I said, it's this competition for us. We just seem to be able to do it. And here's hoping that we go all the way, but at least go on the next few rounds, because the more money we get, the better it is for us as well. So fingers crossed.
All I'm going to say, Dave, is 1972 was in Spain. Seville, obviously in Spain. This year, where's the final? In Spain.
Yeah, I know. And I'll tell you one thing, Derek, if it happens, I will definitely be there this time. I've missed out the last 2. I won't be missing out in this one.
Yes. So the teams we could be playing in the last 16 is either Anderlecht, Bodo Glimt, Fenerbahce or FC20. Now, the irony of it getting FC20 would be the fact that Sam Lammers would be playing for them, Dave.
Yep, and Robin Proper playing for us against them.
Yeah, that's even stranger. However, that's getting played on the March the 6th, which is the away leg, and the second leg at home is on March the 13th. So good the fact that we have the home leg in the second leg.
Yep, that's right. And, 4 very good teams, Derek, but us on our day, I would fancy us to be able to get past any of those teams. It's going to be tough, especially if we were to get the likes of Anderlecht, but we've beaten far better and far bigger teams than them in this competition. So bring it on.
Yes. In relation to that as well, we've been able to register 3 replacement players. So Hadji, Danilo and Nsiala have been drafted in. Casawaniro, Cortez and Dill have been taken out the squad, obviously, with Dill being away on loan. Casawaniro and Cortez out injured for the foreseeable. That makes sense. Fernandez not getting a look in, but given the fact that we're going to be fighting still on 3 fronts, then he's going to be a player that we're going to need to utilise as well. Ross McCausland, Bailey Rice, Leon King, Mason Munn and Finlay Curtis are among the players eligible on the B list, which is for club trained players. So we've got those options as well.
Yes.
So next game we've got to cover, Sunday the 2nd of February. It was a 4-0 win away against Ross County in the Premiership. Now, this game drew a wee bit of rage from some fans because we were shite in the second half. But, Dave, as we'll get into, we were great in the first half. We wrapped it up in the first half. Why need to push it in the second half?
I know that was something I found very strange as well. People raging, we've paid our money, we want to be entertained and stuff like that. But at the same time, how many occasions have we said, I wish we could just kill teams off in the first sort of half hour of a game, and then, we can take it easy in the second half. I would much rather have that, but you can't keep everybody happy, can you?
No, definitely not. But we lined up Butland, Tavernier, Suter, Nsiala, Jefty, Raskin, Diamande, Cherny, Igman, Hadji and Dessers. On the subs bench we had Kelly, Proper, Lawrence, Barami, Fernandez, McCausland, Rice, Curtis and Ncio. So nothing much really happened in the first maybe 14 minutes. We're in control, but we done really nothing much with it. 14th minute was a long cross from the right to the left by Cherny to Hadji. A nice touch, a good shot at a tight angle and saved by the keeper, but it was offside in any case. However, Hadji only had to wait 4 more minutes because on the 18th minute, he made it 1-0. Cherny was on the right, he cuts inside, hits a shot on the deck through the defence. A good save by the keeper, but spilled right into the path of Hadji, who had a simple tap in. Maybe a bit of fortune, but you still need to be in the right place at the right time.
Exactly. And as I text you, as you've always said, have a shot. You're either going to score or it's going to create a chance for someone else. And that's exactly what happened there. And good poacher's instinct by Hadji to get his second goal since he's came back. Excellent. And, a good sort of early goal for us as well. So brilliant.
Yes. On the 20th minute, Cherny on the right, twisting and turning, gets to the touchline, cuts it back to Igman, who tries to place a shot, but it was over the bar. And on the 25th minute, Hadji made it 2-0. It was a free kick from the edge of the box on the left. Hadji shoots off the head of the defender who was in the wall and spins into the net. Again, a wee bit of fortune there, but we'll take it every single day, won't we?
Definitely. He was going for the shot at goal. I'm glad that it got counted as his goal as well, because he did go for it, although he got the deflection. And, fantastic 2-0. And again, at this stage, I was hoping, and we've not been able to do it many times this season, but hoping we would get a quick third goal, and then that really would kill it off before half time.
Couple of things to note about the free kick as well. It's interesting that Tavernier allowed Hadji to take it, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yep, it was. Yep.
And what I've need to do here, because we'll be talking about a referee in the news section, but it was really well done by the referee, this one, because I think it was Dessers who was fouled, and the referee allowed play to go on, and Dessers did get a chance away, but he was clearly off balance, and then he drew it back for a free kick. So it was actually well refereed, that one, to get us the free kick in the first place.
Yes.
28th minute was a corner from the right from Ross County into the middle, a good stooping header by the Ross County player, and it forced a good save from Butland. 30th minute, across from the right from the left side, and Jefty with a volley on the left side, bounces off the ground and into the keeper's arms. So decent effort, that one there. 32nd minute, Cherny on the right, gets to the touchline, cuts inside and has a shot from an angle, but an easy take from the keeper. And on the 35th minute, Suter, of all people, made it 3-0. It was a corner in from the left, into the middle, Raskin heads it, it goes to the back post, and Suter's running in and kicks it high into the net. Suter wasn't giving up that chance, was he?
No, he certainly wasn't. And it's strange that it's the smallest man on the park that gets his head on the end of the corner, and it's one of the biggest men on the park that's steaming in at the back post to fire it into the back of the net. It's usually the other way about, but excellent for John Suter. He's been through the mill this season with injuries. Delighted for him to go on the score sheet, and like I said a few minutes ago, great for us to get the third goal in the first half and effectively kill the game off.
Absolutely. 30th minute, lovely from Jefty on the left, cuts inside, get past his man, whizzes a ball across the goal and just evades Dessers, who had actually taken a slight nick off the defender. 43rd minute, Dessers on the half spin and shoots and just wide, and that's how the first half ended up. So very, very routine, a very good performance at this point. No more than we should be doing against Ross County. No disrespect to them, but this is what we should be doing, especially at home as well. So got to be really happy with that.
Yeah, as you say, routine, but it's not been routine for us, Derek. That's the thing. This is what we've been wanting to happen, and it's not happened this season. So I was just delighted we'd done all the hard work in the first half, and they could go out just to try and shore things up in the second half. Like we said, a lot of people not happy about that, but I'll take that scenario any day of the week.
Yes. So into the second half, It was certainly a more subdued affair, but I'm quite happy, Dave, because the fact that we killed the game off, we didn't need to push it. There's no point, especially when we've got that many injuries just now, there's no point going hell for leather and giving players strains or anything like that. So I'm more than happy with that. At half-time, Diamande came off and Rice came on, so good to see him getting a game. 48th minute, a good move ending a nice cutback on the left side of the box to Rice, who has a great shot and a great save by the keeper, so it's straight away getting involved there. 51st minute, Suter had the ball into the back of the net, however it was ruled for offside. Tavernier with a shot on the left, the keeper saves and spills, it was flicked on by Dessers, rebounds off the defender into the path of Suter, who has a tap in. However, Dessers had strayed slightly offside during the initial shot by Tavernier. 62nd minute, a shot from Ross County just over the bar. 62nd minute as well, Suter off and proper on. 71st minute, a cross from Cherny on the right. Igman with an overhead kick inside the box but well off target. You've just got to applaud the effort from him from doing that anyway. 73rd minute, Hadji and Igman off. Lawrence and Barami on. And on the 77th minute, those three words you used to love to hear, we're hearing it again finally. Penalty to Rangers. It was a corner from the left, Dessers with a half volley, and the defender takes him out with a scissor action. Play was raging on, nobody was claiming for it. However, the ref gave it after some hesitation. VAR checked it and confirmed. I initially thought, that's a bit harsh, but when you're looking back at it now, it was a clear penalty, wasn't it?
Yeah, it certainly was. I don't think in the heat of the moment we did think there was anything in it, but fair play, that's what VAR's supposed to be there for, Derek. It was used correctly this time. I know we're going to get into something after this, but correctly used and the penalty correctly given.
Yes, that's our first penalty in the league this season, Dave.
Yep, absolutely incredible. The whole narrative of penalty to Rangers, well, it's certainly not been the case this season. Actually quite incredible that is the first time. I was trying to actually remember back to when the last one was, and I genuinely can't. It was that long ago. So hoping that James Tavernier hadn't forgotten how to take a penalty, and as you're about to get into now, certainly hasn't.
No, because it was cool as you like. Slides it to the right side on the deck. Keeper dives the wrong way. 4-0 Rangers. 80th minute, Inciala off and Fernandes on for his debut, and nothing else happened in the game, and that's how the game ended up 4-0 winners. Outstanding performance. As I said, subdued in the second half, but I don't care. That was a great performance all round.
It was, yep. Got to be delighted with that. No complaints for me whatsoever. Lets us rest certain players, bring some of the younger players on that played very well also, and never conceded. Like I said, I'll take that every day of the week.
Yes. So, the games to come, Sunday the 9th of February at home to Queen's Park in the Scottish Cup Round 5. That's a 15:30 kick-off. Sunday the 16th of February away to Hearts in the Premiership. That's a midday kick-off, so that will be the big tester one. I know that Hearts aren't playing very well just now. However, it's an away game against one of the bigger teams, so we'll see how that goes. Saturday the 22nd of February at home against St Mirren in the Premiership. That's a 1500 kick-off. And to round out February, Wednesday the 26th of February away to Kilmarnock in the Premiership. That's an 8 p.m. kick-off. So all to play for us again.
Certainly is, yeah.
So we'll now go into the news. So not a lot in the news again, Dave, because it's only been 7 or 8 days since we released the last podcast. However, very well deserved. Igman was named the SPFL Player of the Month for January. He had scored 5 goals in 6 league games, so outstanding from the youngster.
Yeah, it was. He's been a standout for us. Him, Hadji and Cherny, for me, attacking-wise, have all been excellent. But, for this young man to burst onto the scene the way that he has, both domestically and in Europe, he's been a joy to watch. So here's hoping that he gets even better for us, because he certainly looks like a top talent.
He's definitely had a few quieter games of late. And people are putting that down to the fact that we're playing Dessers as well, and he's played slightly out of position. However, we're getting more out of Dessers now. So
yeah, we are, definitely.
I don't care who's scoring the goals, as long as somebody is.
Yes, no, that's 100% right. I think he was having to put that burden on himself when he was just there on his own. But now, Dessers, I think the pressure has come off of Dessers, possibly with Igman being there. And I think the two of them actually complement each other really well. So long may that continue as well.
Yes. Next thing here is the Crown Office have confirmed that the total cost of the botched takeover prosecutions will be around £52 million. Now, that's obviously to do with the actual legal fees and all the compensation that they've had to give out. Absolutely ridiculous. And do you know what the worst thing about this is, Dave, is the fact that it's cost the taxpayer £52 million for this, only because of a takeover that only happened because HMRC, another public body, botched going after us and spent millions more of taxpayers' money going after a fictitious amount of money over a scheme that was perfectly illegal to use, and they got peanuts back from. That's despite them being offered a settlement which was worth more than what they actually eventually got back from us. And I still haven't heard of them going after any other companies that used EBTs. So that is what the ridiculous thing about it is the whole takeover prosecution should never have happened because it all stems from something that should never have been allowed to happen in the first place.
We said at the time it was as if it was a witch hunt. The more and more that we're hearing about everything that's gone on, it certainly looks like it. The fact, as you say, nobody else has been put under investigation like what we were says it all to me. And that amount of money is just absolutely ridiculous. It's shocking. And there'll be no punishment. So there'll not be any heads rolling at all. There'll not be anyone that'll come in and lose their jobs over it and stuff like that. And for that amount of money, it's just absolutely shocking. It really, really is. But we all knew that this is how it was going to end up. We knew it was going to be like that because, as you say, for them to go after us in such a way that we all knew wasn't illegal. And I was going to say it's incredible, but it's really no. It's unbelievable how it's happened. It's shocking.
Yep. Next thing here, a wee bit of hilarity, because during the BBC Sports Sound commentary of our game against USG, one of the USG players stopped a shot from McCausland with their puss. It led to some amusing commentary about it being in their face. Dave, I don't know if you've heard that.
No, I haven't heard anything like that at the time, Derek. I was working, so I was only able to watch certain parts of it, but no, I've not heard anything like that at all.
So if anybody's not heard it, and Dave, you can go and listen back, I'll put the audio in just now.
The referee immediately stopped play because he thought Sykes had taken a head knock, which effectively he did because he stopped the McCausland shot coming in. Let's have another look at it. McCausland got it sweetly.
Oh, it's right
straight
in
off the face. Yeah.
In the face.
Yeah, I'm not sure he knew much about it, but it has to go down as good defending.
Next thing here, I don't think it's actually been announced by the club, but the reports are that Kevin Thompson is back at our club as a coach.
Yeah, I'd seen snippets on social media, Derek, but like you, I hadn't seen anything official at all. Certainly a guy, he's been in and about the club, but he had a previous coaching experience with the club as well. So great to see him back. He's got a great enthusiasm for the game as well as the club itself. So, delighted to have him back in there. I don't know what coaching capacity is that he's in, Derek, but we'll have to wait until there is something official out there. But great news for him.
Yep. And the last piece of footballing news I've got here is today the audio has been released of the VAR situation with the Diomande red card against Dundee United. Dave, I didn't think the situation could get worse for Nick Walsh, but oh my fucking God.
Yep.
It's atrocious.
Yep. I'll let you get into it, Derek, but I am absolutely livid about it. And I still can't get over it. I've listened to it back about 3 times. I'll let you speak about it first and give you my opinion, but it is absolutely shocking.
Okay. Look at it here. Right. So for me, it's pushed, but there, I don't see anything violent or brutality. I don't think it's a red card. Are you with me on that? Or
doesn't he tick any boxes?
Nick, it's done. I'm going to recommend an on-field review, okay, for the red card for Diomande, okay? So even though the arm comes out, I don't see. Yeah, but
can you give me
as
a
he's
different
pushed,
angle, please?
Yep, I've got a different angle.
How behind here?
So just on here, but the contact for me is negligible. And as he's pushed, the arm comes, but I don't see excessive force or brutality.
So the swing with the right hand for you is not violent conduct?
Yep, for me it's not.
Zoom in on the swinging action for me. Zoom in on the swinging action by White 10.
That's the best angle we've got, the 2 angles I've shown you.
I see a slap towards the face, so I'm going to put him off. Go on the field.
Walsh clearly doesn't have a clue. He basically thinks he's seen a slap. The 2 VAR refs have confirmed that his arm goes across, but there's nothing in it. It's negligible. There's no violence to warrant a red card at all. Now, bearing in mind, Walsh had went to his back pocket before he had blown his whistle. And you know me, Dave, I've never given into this bias, cheating, referee narrative. But when you listen to this, you can't think anything but that now, Dave. He's either severely, severely incompetent and should never be refereeing a game again, or there's a cheating element to it, because you cannot excuse that. I know Willie Collum has came out and said stuff today about it as well, but you just can't excuse that kind of thing. No amount of training will be able to solve that, because that, as an experienced referee, I can understand him maybe seeing something during the play. That's fine. But when he's getting two referees explaining it, there's nothing in it, and then for him to see 2 or 3 different angles about it as well, slowed down, and he still thinks that's a red card, that's beyond a joke, Dave.
It's what I thought was incredible, where you had the 2 VAR officials saying, no, there's nothing in that, his hand has come up, but there's nothing violent, there's nothing to say that it was intentional, there's nothing to say that there's any violence whatsoever in that, it does not warrant a red card. For him to then demand, I seen the hand go up, what about the slap? No, there's nothing in that. Right, well, can I see it for another angle? Can I see it for another angle? No, there's still nothing in that. We can't see anything that would warrant a red card there. No, I've definitely seen his hand coming up. I'm sticking with the red. It's unbelievable. Why have the guys in the VAR to give you their opinions at all when he was just going to be sticking with that? It's quite incredible to have 2 people in there both tell you, no, there's definitely nothing in that, and for him to completely disregard everything that they've said completely and look for something that isn't there and still say that it's a red card. It's beyond me. It really is. I've never heard anything like it. I still don't know what the full explanation is, if he's been asked for that. I missed the Willie Collum thing, Derek. I take it he was sticking up for him. I don't know. I've not heard it. But I can't say in any more than he's either completely pig-headed and, like what Willie Collum, doesn't like to say that he's wrong and he'll go for it regardless what it is, or, as you said, I don't like to think that anybody's cheating, but going on what we've just seen and heard there, that's certainly what it looks like. So I don't know.
Collins never really went into it in great depth about what's going to happen here in terms of this. He's kind of went over the fact that it was being looked at, we've discussed in depth. He was asked about how they get to the point where decisions are made correctly, and he said by analysing incidents and constant coaching, and we're coaching every single week. Well, they're a part-time outfit. What exactly are they doing during the week? Because referees have got a full-time job and they're doing this as a hobby. So what exactly are they getting coached on? When are they getting coached on it? Are they looking at other incidents? So this is what it all boils down to, the fact that referees are not full-time. So how are they learning? Where's the punishment? See, if it was a learning issue with some of these referees, then does that not keep telling you if these things keep happening, part-time referees just do not work because they're clearly not learning with it? So the SFA have got a decision on their hands here. Do we scrap VAR and then go to full-time referees? But they're that incompetent and they're that much an old pals act that they've not got that foresight to do that. Now, Dundee United have pulled out something. I think it's this review thing that they're doing. They said they're not taking part of it. There's calls for VAR to be scrapped. I think VAR, in this instance here, has actually done its job well.
Yeah, yep. Definitely.
And the other times when you've seen breakdowns in communication is because there's the human element of it. And that's the problem. Yes, they've made the excuse VAR is there to minimise the amount of times things go wrong because they're only human. Yes, we accept that they're only human. But when you're getting several opportunities to see something and still getting it wrong, that's when the problem happens. And when you've got incompetence there, and I'm saying that that's at best incompetence, then there's something that you just cannot deal with. VAR in itself works. It's the clowns that run VAR that are the issue half the time. Ironically, 2 of the clowns actually done their job in this case. There was a clown on the field that never. So I don't know where we go from here. We don't have the full VAR facility like we do because we don't have the money. Bearing in mind, down south, all getting funded by the FA. Up here, it's partly, if not nearly all, getting funded by the clubs. And this is the problem. The clubs are funding this to get a half-arsed version of VAR. So this is where the clubs need to take a stand. I'm glad that Dundee United are taking that stand. Ironically, this was against them and this benefited them, this decision. But yeah, at least it's a club taking a stand. We've taken a stand and tried to get other clubs along with us. And it's just because it came from Rangers, big bad Rangers, we don't care. It's making our league once again tin pot.
I don't want Rudy VAR, Derek, because this was all down to the referee this game, right? This was all down. VAR was used correctly, or should have been used correctly in this instance. When you've got two officials, both of them in complete agreement that there's nothing in that, and they are there. They're there to basically advise the referee, you've made a mistake there. They didn't actually say you need to reverse your decision because they can't. That's not what they're there for. But this is purely 100% down to, as you say, at best, the incompetence of the referee. I'm just not taking that at all. I don't know what he was thinking. He had his mind made up, regardless of what they were going to say, that the player was going to get red carded. So his reasons for him coming to that decision have still to be made clear. It's just an absolutely shocking decision by him. And VAR did their job correctly and should have been utilised correctly. And that was fully down to the referee, no one else.
So then, Dave, exactly what you've just said there. If he's decided to send a player off, regardless of what the VAR officials were going to say, that's cheating.
Well, is there anything else you can say? Because to me, that doesn't sound like incompetence. I hate using that word. I hate using it, and I try and not to sound like the paranoid one of them has done for years. But that there, I can't have any other explanation as to why he would come up with that decision after being told by two fellow referees that he'd basically made a mistake and it shouldn't have stood.
I mean, the mountain of evidence now that referees are refereeing us completely differently is unquestionable. Like you, Dave, I don't want to be sounding like them. They've done it for years and years and years.
My whole life, I've heard them saying that. But is it now for the fact that it's went on for so long that a lot of people are now starting to believe it? And it's now went the other way? I would hate to think that was the case, but but the more and more evidence that we see, it certainly looks like it.
Yeah. But anyway, we could talk about that for all day and we'll round it up there because we're going to go into Fessel Corner.
Yeah, give us a laugh, Derek.
About 7 or 8 years ago, I put a pen up my bum to see what it was like. I still don't think I've managed to shit the lid back out. Just why?
No idea.
I have to shave my arsehole regularly, otherwise it's like shitting through a strainer. About 15 years ago, I discovered my wife's Gillette Venus leg razor in the shower basket. It's so luxurious and always conveniently ready to go with a fresh blade. Have been using it ever since.
I've got no words. Absolutely no words.
I'm a 51-year-old bloke and still draw spunking giant cocks on the steamed up glass in the shower so my wife can see them the next time she gets in. Also remember the minimum 3 pubes per ball rule.
I'm so glad that Festival have finally put up one of my posts, Derek. That's all I can say. Fantastic.
Shagged my wife on the night of my granddad's funeral. Felt wrong, but she liked me in my suit and you have to take what you can get. Sorry, Grandad. When I was about 12 years old, I used to take long showers, but not for what you might think. I liked to fog up the mirror to write formulas and graphs on it, and also to think, and enjoy the fresh air from the window. My parents thought I wanked like crazy. And to round the stories out, not even had a hint of sex for 5 years. Ordered myself a sex doll off AliExpress. Just arrived home to a soggy battered box with a doll's head sticking out on my doorstep. Think I'm going to have to move now.
That's Fessel reading it to my post now, Derek. That's terrible. I've got a quick one to tell because you have jogged my memory with the fact with the guy who draws cocks on the steamed up window. And I've got a very quick story to tell you, and this is the honest truth. So a good number of years ago, I was out on the piss in Falkirk, a pub called Behind the Wall. And me and a few of my mates came outside, and it was frosty, and it was early in the morning, about 1 a.m. And a girl that we knew, we spotted her car in the car park. So the windows were all frozen. So we thought, for a laugh, being drunk, we would go over and basically draw cocks all over our car and the window, right? So me and two of my pals did this. Now, one of my pals went onto our sunroof and drew a cock on the sunroof, right? So a week later, we were all out, and she seen us, and she was absolutely raging, like totally raging. And we didn't own up to us. She says, "Which one of you was it that done it?" And we're like, "What are you talking about?" She says, "You drew cocks all over my car." She says, "And I had to go and wash all the windows and everything the next again morning." She says, "And I took my mum to her work." She says, "And she looked up into the ceiling and saw this big cock that I hadn't noticed at the time on the sunroof." So there you go, true story. And these things do happen, and that's just, as I say, that brought a smile to my face when you read that one out there.
Well, a first for this podcast, Dave having his very own genuine festival corner.
That's a true story. There you go.
So, on that note, we will end the podcast. So, we got the podcast out quick, only a couple of games to cover, but what a couple of games they were, Dave.
It certainly was. Derek, a European night, I think that we need to remember for a long time, just the way everything panned out, and we're through automatically. That is just absolutely sensational for the club, for the fans, and financially as well. It's excellent for us, considering everything that's been happening with us this season. So, let's go on to the next game in great confidence and hopefully pull out another brilliant result.
Yes. So, all that's left to say is thanks for listening and goodbye.
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
And the stadium erupts in red, white and blue. You've never seen anything like it.
Let's go.